Raiders starting 1st and 10 from the 14. Allen to the 20-yard line. And keep your eye on Junior Seau, inside linebacker as well. He'll be moving a great deal, the rookie out of USC.
That move, I think the cornerback position is much more vital than free safety.
On 2nd and 4, it's Allen. Sidesteps one tackler and picks up a Raider first down over the 25-yard line.
3 words, give me the ball.
7:35 to play in the quarter, 1st and 5. He got the ball and is close to the 35-yard line.
Is the fact that this is what he wants to do. He's not interested in being that successful in just one thing. He wants to be unique.
Bo Jackson is on the sideline now. Marcus Allen, the man in the ball game, on 3rd and 1 from the 35-yard line. Raiders with 2 tight ends in the ball game. Broken play. Schrader stuck with the ball and he loses yardage. He'll have to punt. Junior Seau forcing the action.
Miscommunication all around. You could tell by the way he got the snap that everything was discombobulated. Art Shell can't be too terribly happy about that. Look how unsure he is. Look at that. Oops. He's not even sure he was supposed to get the ball on that count. And right back there you can see that both Marcus and Steve.
Smith and Allen behind Schrader. He's got Allen out of the backfield. Allen has room. Inside Charger territory, Marcus Allen, 30-yard gain. 1st and 10 Raiders.
That was a big mistake in the secondary by Junior Seau. Junior had him coming out of the backfield. For some reason, Junior was looking. Here you're going to get a chance to see it. Marcus comes over. This is just a flat route where he turns around. Where's Junior Seau? He's nowhere to be seen. Now he comes into the picture, and it's too late. Marcus avoids one tackler, and as a good runner always does, he makes a lot of people miss. Martin Bayless, the Chargers' leading tackler, has to get him before he goes the distance.
But Bo Jackson on the sideline. Marcus Allen, is he feeling a little pressure today, Todd?
Oh, gee, if I was making 7 figures, nah, nothing bothers me. In a more serious answer to your question, I'm sure he does. But here's somebody who has been a consummate professional.
On 1st and 10, it's Allen again out of the backfield. Thanks, Bob. Those cardiac bills doing it again. And here at Jack Murphy Stadium, Bo is in the ball game.
That was interesting. They gave it, you know, were those boos or boos? I couldn't tell from the crowd. I guess here in San Diego, you'd have to assume they were boos, huh?
Well, he's got it on his first play, and he's not going anywhere. He's got to get his football legs ready.
Gee, you know what? My heart really skipped a beat there. He comes in the first play, and they give him the ball. Gosh, color me shocked, huh?
All right, here's a look at what Bo has done in his first game each season.
Well, you know, Bo doesn't have the luxury of working his way into it. You notice there, particularly in 1988, they went right to 21 carries. But Bo maintains the fact that the 10 days off that he gets from baseball is plenty of time for him to get ready and play football. And truth be known, this is one of the other reasons why training camp is a no-brainer, a waste of time. Here this guy comes in with fresh legs, he's ready to play.
Be a little slick down there in that part of the field.
Well, you might be right, but I'm thinking that's a lame excuse. He just shanked it.
Bo Jackson. Inside the San Diego 30. Gary Plummer on the stop for the Chargers.
You know, I know that Bo is superhuman and Bo knows everything, but that run went a long way towards him. You know, towards helping his confidence. The reason I say that is because the man is human, and one of the toughest things you have to do as a running back is to take that first hit, to get acclimated once again to it. Because you can run, you can work out, you can lift weights, you can do aerobics, you can do all those things, but you can't simulate getting tackled in an NFL football game.
Jackson picked up 7 yards. He's the deep man in the eye here and takes the pitch on 2nd and 3. Tries to get around the corner and is stopped shy of the first down. Donald Frank ran him out of bounds. Todd, what about when Bo Jackson reports to camp in El Segundo? Is it a distraction for some of the players in the ball club?
Well, I think it is. You know, they talk about Art tried to minimize the fact by saying, hey, all they care about is if the guy can help the football team win. But of course, one of the things that people are very conscious of in every business is, hey, do the rules apply to everybody? And obviously in this case they don't. They're paying this guy $1.4 million to play 10, maybe 11 games. He doesn't have to go to training camp. He doesn't have to work out. The rules don't necessarily apply to Bo.
3rd and 2. Jackson stays on his feet and picks up the first down. Marker on the play. Check that.
That was his helmet. His helmet came off.
Well, they marked it with his helmet. That's what I meant to say.
Let me explain. The flag is yellow and the helmet is silver.
Oh, I thought he was so incredible that they'd mark the penalties with his helmet as well.
Here it is right here. You know, he plows into the line, and 222 pounds and 4.18 speed, he's going to push it backwards. Look at Grossman going his back. That's a result, not just Fitzpatrick blocking, but Beau's strength pushing that pile.
So the Raiders moving 1st and 10 from the 23. 10 minutes and 25 seconds to play here in the first half.
Now, is that a zircon or is that really a diamond of his year?
Well, this is really a runner on the left side. 11-yard pickup for Jackson.
That was a good job downfield by Willie Galt to shield off Sammy Seau and enable him to get a first down. Interesting story about Beau Jackson's speed. When he was timed by Dick Steinberg, who was then the personnel man for the New England Patriots, he ran the 40 in 4.18. The fastest 40 time that had ever been run was 4.21 by Larry Burton, who was an Olympian in 1972 in the 200 meter. He said there's no way that this man this big can run that fast, so he ran it 2 more times in 4.17 and 4.21. The man can go.
And he's football fast too, as you pointed out. In the pants he can go.
Yeah, the league have said he's one of, if not the best blocking fullback in the league.
On 2nd and 3, Jackson trying to get around the corner. Touchdown, Raiders.
Fred, I don't want to overstate the point here, but I'm convinced that there are very few people. I think only Beau could have made that touchdown. That play was designed to go off tackle. And he cuts to the outside. They have the angle. He's there to be tackled, and he just has that burst of speed. This is one of the genetic gifts of Beau Jackson. Right there, he goes, okay, see if you can outrun me. Nobody can. Tucks it under his left arm. Good stiff arm there on Rawling. Tumbles his way into the end zone. Outstanding run.
So after an 8-yard punt by John Kidd, the Raiders able to move 6 plays, 35 yards, and Beau Jackson on the payoff. And you talked about his ability to get into the end zone and the speed he had, John.
Well, this is designed to go off tackle. You can tell right here. He's going inside. He's blocking the middle backer. He's supposed to follow him up in there, and he cuts to the outside. Normally, you would tell a running back, you would say, hey, don't do that. There's nearly a 400-yard improvement in 3 years.
Marcus Allen, the lone setback as the Raiders play with 3 wide receivers on 1st and 10 from the 19, and it's Allen. Oh, clotheslined at the line of scrimmage.
Hartshaw told me that if they're in a situation where they're throwing the ball 30 times a game, then they're not being effective offensively.
On 2nd and 10 for Gold, it's picked off. Sammy Seau has the football for the Chargers. Brown is giving chase. Raider the quarterback. And on 1st and 10, Beau Jackson. Not finding much room.
Junior Seau did a good job of penetration there coming from the backside. His 4.5 speed is something that obviously helps him. As you can see, what happens is both the right tackle and right guard pull, and he's able to run behind them and make the play. Misdirection. Here you can see both Montoya and Wright coming, and there's Junior coming from behind to trip him up and let Rawling come in and finish him off.
And here is Beau Jackson. Steve Smith and Beau Jackson in the backfield. Marvin Fernandez in motion. Jackson up the middle. First down. To the 10-yard line, and he loses his helmet for the 2nd time in the game.
You might want to tape that thing on, but right there, earlier we had a chance to see Beau display that tremendous speed that he has. Here it's power. 3rd and 2, I've noticed the Raiders have been going to a lot of passing situations, but when you have Beau here, he cuts inside. Look at the lean he has at 6'1". A lot of times that's the kind of lean that's reserved just for guys that are 5'10 and 5'11 with that low center of gravity. But because he has such powerful thighs and the great speed that he has, he's able to lean forward, break the arm tackles, and get the first down. And Marcus' forte is the lateral movement. Beau's forte is north and south. He has that great power between the tackles, even though obviously, as we've seen, he has the speed to get outside. One of the other things we might want to mention here is that Rory Graves has gone out with an injury. His replacement, Fitzpatrick at left tackle, 6'7", 335 pounds. He's been doing a pretty good job thus far on Leslie O'Neal.
Beau Jackson, touchdown Raiders.
Interesting that we would mention the fact that Fitzpatrick, and there's Beau running right behind him. A tremendous block on that by Fitzpatrick to open up the gap. That's the exact same play they had for the touchdown, but this time Beau didn't have to cut to the outside. He runs right behind the tackle.
Jackson 7 yards for the score.
Right here you see firing off. You can see Fitzpatrick cutting, and there's Smith blocking out on Bayless. He cuts right behind him. Look at Rawling being pushed out there. by number 88, Ethan Horton, and that enables a big hole for Bo Jackson to get inside and score the touchdown.
Raiders move 68 yards in 8 plays. There you see Bo Jackson's number. Allen, ooh, touchdown in the backfield.
You know, for a team that has no emphasis, as Al Davis has said, on the tailback, they're certainly paying them an awful lot of money. Greg Bell, you see there on the sidelines, has been put on injured reserve. I think a lot of the reason for that is to make room for Bo, even though they wouldn't admit that.
Brainwash. Here's Marcus Allen around the right side. He's to the 20. He's got a block inside the 5 and finally down at the 3-yard line. Gilbert saved a touchdown. Nice play by Marcus Allen. 27 yards on the run.
Okay, Fred, so he is worth the money. We were talking earlier about that lateral speed. Here we get a chance to see it. He's about to cut inside, and then he cuts out right here. Rawling isn't able to make the play. Lyles comes up, terrific stiff arm by Marcus, and here he cuts down the sidelines. Now he uses the wide receiver in front of him. Mervin Fernandez does a good job of shielding out there. He's able to break a tackle and back up right here. Look at the stiff arm. He turned Bird's helmet right around. He was almost able to get in the end zone.
Do you think we'll see them in the game at the same time?
I think that's possible.
On 1st and 10, nothing going. Marcus Allen tried to go up and didn't come down in the end zone. It was Gary Plummer.
With the Raiders is with Marcus jumping over the top. That's getting a little bit predictable. Now you see what's happening is that Plummer takes over the top and meets him head on. I think this is happening with a lot of defenses because they've seen Marcus do it time and time again. Now it's becoming so predictable that the linebackers are just bailing out and taking chances.
Gary Plummer
in a game. That's an impressive statistic.
2nd and goal from the 3. Play action for Horton. 3rd and goal from the 3. Both wide receivers to the near side of the field. Flags on the play as Allen carries it in. But keep in mind there's a marker on the play.
Illegal formation, number 66 did not record back to his position as tackle.
Fred, what's happening now around the league is because there are fewer and fewer tight ends on the roster, teams in this situation where you normally would have a 3 tight end offense, you'll see right there, number 66 on the far right has to come in and say that he is eligible. Steve Wright normally plays offensive tackle, and it might be a very small thing, but he has to come into the official and say,
if the games were played with this, the Raiders would win every game. Al Davis is what you would call a speed freak, a nice speed freak, but a speed freak nonetheless. The Raiders have on their team 2 gold medalists, 2 members of former world record relay in Brown and Grady, Willie Galton, of course, anchoring it would be Bo Jackson.
About Bo Jackson and playing on certain teams. He plays for the Royals, he plays for the Raiders. Neither one of these clubs that he's played on while he's been there have ever won a world championship.
I think that that's one of the things that really is something that it would make him a lot more fulfilled. You know, there's a lot of things that you can call Bo Jackson, but as yet you can't call him a winner or a champion. And I think a lot of that has to do with commitment. You know, with the Raiders, you know, near the end of the season, you know, a lot of times he'll be hurt, he won't be feeling so good. And so people question his commitment to the team and to the organization. Because if things go south for the Raiders, he can always say, well, you know, I got baseball season coming up. Or if he starts to strike out a lot and has a week where he goes 0 for 25, he says, well, I got the Raiders coming up. Well, I think what happens is, particularly in the football part of it, if he gets any kind of slight injury, why does he want to play through the injury? Why does he want to do that when he knows he has all these other extracurricular activities, including baseball, that he doesn't want to jeopardize with a career-ending injury, whereas the other people who are integrally involved in football have to play through that kind of pain?
Now you look at Marcus Allen, who is now on the sideline. He is a man that plays pretty well in this league. He's a man who was leading the club in rushing, and as you pointed out earlier, trade rumors. What goes through his mind now? Bo is back, and he has to take a back seat.
Well, I think Marcus is mature enough to just understand business is business. You have a unique situation with this guy, but nonetheless, that does not make it any more palatable.
3rd and 3. On the 9-yard line, it's Bo Jackson. Art Shell and his Los Angeles Raiders come to Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego and score a 24-9 victory over the Chargers. Now let's go to Kansas City and Seattle. Jim Donovan and Joe Namath.